I remember crying to my mom about how kids at school constantly labeled me as the other and how difficult it is to cope with being perceived as the oddball, the contrarian, the peculiarity, the crackpot. And Amma gently explains to me how that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, how being the other gives me liberty to paint myself a world of my own where the sky is a serene shade of green and the trees a delightful glow of pink. A world where my beauty is a real-life walking Instagram Hudson filter. And I tell her, no, Ma, please be realistic for once. I would choose Juno over Hudson any day. Mom, I choose a world where wealth and equity don't define status, where statuses don't define status, where love equals reason, so that when I do fall in love, the world will finally begin to make some sense to me. A world where love equals happiness, so that I never have the misfortune of having to choose between the two. A world where love trumps hate. A world where love trumps Trump. Mom, I'd like to carve up a world where justice doesn't get to pick and choose its benefactors, where we don't end up almost unconsciously thinking of justice as something for the rich and human rights as something for the poor. Unlike this world where justice exists only for the corporate big shots and human rights maybe for its victims. Justice for the whites and human rights maybe for the refugees, if at all that is. Mom, I want a world where there is justice for the victims of war, but also for the perpetrators of it, where one man's collateral damage isn't another man's son, where it isn't the white man's burden to bring about liberation and civilization to the rest of us lowlives, where a nation is more than an arbitrary line drawn on the map, where democracy isn't limited to appealing to the lowest common denominator of a nation, where the answer to one form of bigotry isn't another shade of it. Mom, I dream of a world where marital sex, like all sex, is consensual, where choice is understood and respected, where you aren't judged for showing that beautiful bare skin nor for that ethereal cashmere stole on your head. Mom, I dream of a world where indifference isn't an option, where the greatest emotion isn't love or hate, it's empathy, where living people get more flowers than the dead do, where beauty comes in all shapes and sizes and colors, where Black lives matter and so do all others, and I don't need to keep repeating the latter for you to understand the former. Mom, I want a world where my existence isn't a mere antithesis to yours because binaries are just so 20th century, bro. Mom, I dream of a world where the sky is a delightful blue and the trees a serene green and the sun a happy yellow, and I don't need to peek through the looking glass for all of this to be true. Thank you.